Hello, welcome to another video. I am so glad to have you here back on my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on this new tool that I have been learning for the past 24 hours, quite literally. So story time before I get into the tutorial. This interior design software company reached out to me. They are called Coohom and they wanted to invite me to try their new tool, their new software for interior design and architecture. But what I said is that I was going to give it a try, and if I could get the hang of it really quickly, then I would share that with you guys. I basically started to play with this new software a few hours ago, and today I can share a tutorial with you. Now you have to know I'm not an expert whatsoever, and if you want to learn more about this tool, then I would recommend you to check their channel, their social media, their website, because they do have a lot of useful resources that teach you how to use Coohom very extensively. But anyway, today I'm going to be sharing with you what I have learned, and it's pretty amazing. They have a AI tool that makes your modeling very, very fast, and I will get into that in a minute. So I think it's pretty interesting. I hope that you learned something today, and let's get right into the tutorial. So a bit of a background about Coohom. It is a cloud-based interior design software that has a variety of tools for creating 2D and 3D floor plans, elevations, realistic renders, and much more. And they have an extensive library of elements for your interior design projects. They also have an artificial intelligence tool that I'll show you in just a bit. That is something that I've never seen with other interior design software. So I think it is very useful and you're gonna love it. So if you haven't created an account, you can do that in the description of this video. So here you can do a bunch of things. They do have a lot of features, a lot of functionalities, and they also have many design ideas for you to grab inspiration, and those templates you can even use to start off your own project. So if you don't want to start something from scratch, you can absolutely do that. So if you click up here, it'll take you to the workspace. You can start off with certain types of templates and it'll bring kind of like the floor plan and you can play around with that. But I do want to create something from scratch right now so that I can show you how that works. Before I do that, I do recommend you to go to settings and customization, and here what you want to do, and here you want to change the units to whatever you want. I typically work with feet with fractional inches, and I do like to have 1/4 of an inch precision if I'm working on a floor plan. So that is what I'm gonna set it up to. And then I'm gonna go back to my projects and I will get started right away. So let's click on new project. You can start a project, like if you're doing a new kitchen, you can start a new kitchen and closet project, and this will already bring like pre-made cabinets for you to start off your kitchen. But right now, like I said, I wanna do something from scratch. So I will click on new project. Now again, here you can use already done for you floor plan templates so that you don't have to start from scratch if that's very intimidating. But again, I still want to do everything from scratch. Now you could do absolutely from scratch if you click here, but you could also bring another file to work on Coohom and to bring a floor plan that you already have, for example, an AutoCAD file, a PDF, a PNG, or a JPEG. And I will be bringing a JPEG file. So I'm just gonna upload it and I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna bring that in. And this is where the magic begins. So the really cool thing here is that, first of all, it's asking you to set a scale. So you need to kind of like use a dimension that you are already familiar for this space. So for example, I know that this wall from here to here, it is 12 feet and 5 inches. So after I do that, it's going to set the scale. And here you have two options. So you can either auto-generate it. So what this will do is that the AI robot is going to attempt to use this image and it's going to create the walls, the windows, the doors, and everything for you. Or you can manual trace your floors, your windows, and everything. So I do want to show you how accurate it actually is. If you want to start off with a floor plan and then you want to bring that into Coohom. So we're just going to leave that on auto generate so that you can see how it makes it for you already. And here on the floor plan, if your project has more than one story, you can add more floors, but this is just an apartment, so we're just gonna leave it at 1 floor, and we're just gonna hit continue, and then it's going to attempt to generate our project just by using that JPEG file. So it is here, and it has created everything just based on that image. So let me walk you through the interface and the things that I know so far about the interface. So here at the bottom you have many different tools. So if you click on 2D, it's going to show you the floor plan. So you can see the image that you have uploaded. And because Coohom knows that you have brought an image, it has changed the opacity of the floor plan elements, and it has brought down the opacity. So here, if you bring that up all the way, it's going to make everything completely solid, but now you are not able to see the floor plan that you brought and that it is underneath. So if you bring that down, then you can actually see your JPEG file, which is very, very useful to kind of like match the walls. Now, if you go to 3D here, you can actually make that 3D, and you can just use your mouse to orbit around your model. You can also go to an elevation. So if you click on elevation, and then you can select the wall where you want to go to that elevation, and it's going to take you there. So it is very, very interesting. For now, I just want to go to the top view, and I'm there. Now, here you have this little eye, and here you can show or hide the elements that you want. So for example, if I want to kind of like get rid of the dimensions that it's coming with, so all of these dimension lines, I can just go to here to distance and make those invisible, and it's going to get rid of them. It's not working. Let me just, okay. That was actually under wall dimension. Go to invisible, and then it's gonna get rid of them. And here you can kind of like hide the room name, the area, the label, the legend, the dimensions, and you can kind of like control the visibility, which is very, very cool. And here on this other display settings button, you can actually change the style of the floor plan. So if you go to, for example, 3D, you will have more options. So you will have like the white model, the cartoon, the transparent, and it'll give you like different styles. So that's pretty cool. But let me just go back to the 2D floor plan. And what I want to do here is, it already created those walls for you, you can see, but it's not very accurate. So we're just going to do a bit of an adjustment. So I'm just going to grab these walls, and what I'll do, I'm just going to bring them here and kind of like make them match a little bit better. You can see that this wall should be a little bit to the inside. Actually, yeah, there. I can change the opacity. So yeah, like that. And you can see here how this wall is actually thicker. So if you click on the wall, here you will see the properties of that wall. So if you make that thicker, you can actually, that's actually the thickest one. So let me just try to do 2 feet. Yeah, so it actually makes it 2 feet. So you see how thick it already made it. So maybe we do 1 feet and 5 inches. So that is like that wall that we have there. So that's pretty good. And we're also going to change this one. So we're going to do 1 feet 5 inches. And then we're just going to move the wall a little bit. And we will do the same for this other one. And that's a very thick wall, let me tell you. Okay, so that is pretty accurate. And now what we can do is that we can still go to the 3D, change that to the material color, and now go to top view so you can see the model from above, and then you can just orbit to see how that looks. So that looks pretty good. So let me go back to the floor plan view. So here we're going to start customizing some things. So the first thing that I would want to do is I want to change the names for the bedrooms. So here, if you click on the name, you can see here that in the properties panel, you can change the room type. So if you go to the drop down, you can choose what this is. So this is a bedroom, and then you can do that for the other ones. But it already kind of like knows that this is the living room and the dining room. And this is really AI working for you. So it's pretty cool. So for this one, I'm just gonna do like a closet. I'm not sure if there is a closet here. probably we can just do closet. I'm not sure if this is going to work. It didn't quite work, so I'm just going to probably oh, here, so you have to change it on the bottom, closet. So again, I am learning with you, so don't come at me. And this is the washer and the dryer section, so we will just leave that like that. So that is pretty cool. So let me just here go to the 3D to show you something really cool. So here you can actually see that if you click on these elements, so for example, this is a window that you have here on the wall. So here you can change where the window starts and where it finishes, and it already is going to change it for you. So if you have like the window 5 feet above the ground, it's already going to do that for you. And probably you want the height to be only 1 foot. So more like a clerestory window. Maybe we're just going to do 2. And maybe you want the width to be a little bit more, so like that. So that is very easy to change something like that. And that's going to be the case for every element. So there are actually properties for those specific entities. So for the windows, also for the door, like if you click on the door, let me just go on orbit here. If you click on that door, you can actually here change the width, the thickness, everything. So if we want to make this door a bit smaller, you just change the thickness and it's going to make it a little bit smaller for you. So let's see how that looks on the floor plan. So this is more similar to the size of our door. And now let's say that I'm happy with that. So I want to hide the floor plan that I had initially brought in. So I'm just going to go here on the bottom to hide base map. And then it's going to hide it. If you want to like set the scale again, just click on here, or if you want to delete it altogether, you can delete it as well. But for now, I'm just going to hide it, and then I'm going to bring the floor opacity to 100% so I can clearly see all of my elements with all of my materials and everything. Now, if you wanted to start changing those materials, you can absolutely do that. So all you have to do is click, for example, here on this flooring, and here you will have the option to edit. So you have to go to the floor editor, and then it's going to take you to the editor. So here, what you will do is you are able to choose from this huge library of materials. So if you want to change that up to something like a little bit darker, okay, so you just click on it, and apparently you just have to drag it and it's going to change it automatically. So let's say if you want to do something like that, so click on it. And once you are happy with that, you can just save it. And here you can see how at the same time you can see the 3D model of that, and I can make it a little bit bigger. So here you can orbit and see that how it's going to look on 3D. So it's very, very interesting. Like I hadn't worked with anything like this before. So you could also choose categories for tiles, stone, flooring, carpets, so many different options. So you can take your time to, you know, look around. But now I want to save that for now, and then I can close it, and then I'm going to come back to my actual space. So I am here on my space, and I need to keep working on this. So if you click on those walls, you can also change here the type of wall. So if you're doing on a project and it is important for you to specify if it's a non-load bearing or a load bearing wall, here you can actually do that. So I've actually seen this on other types of architecture software as well. Probably you know which one I'm talking about. But anyway, let's just keep going. Now I've actually used AI to create the whole floor plan, but I want to show you what if you want to do everything from scratch. So you can also do that. So if you go to floor plan, you can here create your own walls. So you can just click on straight wall or rectangle wall or arch wall, and let's say rectangle. And then you can, you know, you only have to use these tools and it's going to create it for you automatically. So this is something that you would want to do if you're starting something from scratch. Let's keep playing with this. So here on the side, you actually can view your project in 3D. So if you grab this little camera, you can just rotate that and you will be able to see your model from different angles, which is very, very nice. So let me just go to the 2D view, to the floor plan. Now here, this is where things are gonna get very, very interesting. So If you go to, I think it is AI, yeah. So if you go to AI, you can use AI to help you bring your furniture plan to life. So let's say that you wanna, just create something and add some furniture, but you don't really know exactly how. So you can here select the rooms that you want AI to help you create that. So for now, I'm just gonna select the whole house, and you can confirm. And then what's gonna do, it's going to attempt to give you ideas for this space. So if you go to here, the style, you can choose from a variety of styles. So you can choose like a modern or like a more luxury one or something a little bit different, and you kind of like can play around with that. So for example, if I am liking this one, or actually I'm going to choose this one, so I will use this one, and I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to bring that style, including some of the furniture that the AI bot is suggesting for my space. So it does help you if you have like no idea of where to start. It has created everything for us. So it's helped us to add the furniture. Here it is suggesting that you have like a little here at dining table and dining space. Now this is probably not what I wanted specifically, because I do have a kitchen here that I'm not gonna move for this floor plan. But if you didn't have anything there, here it would do everything for you. Now what if you like some of these things, but you wanna like add a specific type of dining table or like a couch? So you can get rid of these ones, just click on it and hit delete, and you can bring your own ones from the public library that is here in Coohom. So if you are looking for, let's say, I'm looking for furniture, and let's say I want to bring like a different couch, so maybe a love seat. So let me just select this one, and you can just drag it, and it's going to bring it right to your model. And here you can see it on 3D, and you can see how exactly that's going to look. So it is quite nice. Maybe we have to move this one. So just click on the item that you want to move and just click your arrows to move it around. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring more items. So if I want to bring like an appliance, let's say I want to bring a washing machine, so I'm just gonna click on that, and then I'm just gonna drag that one into this space. If you want to rotate it, just grab it here and you can just rotate it, and then here it's gonna add your washing machine. And I think this is pretty much it. There's so many options here, which is what I really like. It kind of like helps you to think. So it is pretty amazing. Now here I am in the material and model catalog. So you can also add more molding, ceramics, stone, more materials. How do you add a material? So if you click, let's say, on the material that you want to add, let's say this one, you can just drag it to the surface that you want it, and then it's going to apply it. And what you can do, if you go back here to the, if you go back to the floor planner, and then you want to copy that material to a different wall, you can also do that. So if you go to 3D, you can here go to toolkit, and then material brush, and then you want to click on the one that you want to sample, and then click on the other wall. And then if you double click with your right click, it's going to exit that tool. Here you have actually more tools that you can use to measure, to annotate things, many different things that you can do. For example, if you want to add here an annotation, maybe here stone floor, and you can add little annotations like that. Now, last but not least, I want to show you the rendering capabilities of Coohom. So if you are ready to render this, you can do that inside of Coohom here. So all you have to do is go to image and videos, and here you can do like a real-time rendering. And let me just show you how that would work. So once you click on that, it's going to place an HDR background for your model. And here it's already going to have some views predetermined that Coohom thinks that they are good enough for you. But you could also kind of like change them, and you can modify this to your liking. So here you have the camera. You can also move the camera a little bit. And now what you want to do is you want to generate the render for this specific space. So this is what it has created. Is quite amazing considering the fact that we did not play with anything. Like, this is just AI helping me come up with an idea or potentially the design of this bathroom. It created a high quality image and it's quite amazing. So I really just wanted to show you guys. This is just scratching the surface of this new tool. As I said, I'm not an expert and I'm just learning as I go, but I've been learning very quickly. So I do have to say it is very self-intuitive. So anyway, if you are interested in trying Coohom for yourself, make sure to check the link in the description of this video, create your account and start playing with some amazing interior design work. Okay guys, I will see you the next time. Bye bye.